Take my lips and speak with them. Take our minds and think with them. Take our hearts and set them on fire with love for you and all your creation. Amen. Please be seated. Wow. Where to start? What to say? How to keep it short? There's a lot going on here. When the Son of Man comes, will he find faith on earth? What's your answer? Yes? Phew. I'm glad we have hope. Because our world doesn't show us that. Our world doesn't show us a lot of what's talked. Actually, it shows something of what's talked about in the letter from Paul to Timothy. That people they're not looking for sound doctrine. They're looking for the stuff that will please them. In a way, it feels like that me generation is still going on. It's all about me. So I said last week as I kicked off stewardship that I was going to relate this over the weeks to the 6 currencies in the cycle of blessings. And I was like, oh gosh, how do I take this one? How do I get this one into this? But I really think, as I pondered with it, it's about wellness. All of what we're reading today is about wellness, including the psalm. And it's about our taking care of our own wellness, but more importantly, each of us taking care of each other's wellness, taking care of the community's wellness. Because in that letter from Paul to Timothy, where he says, watch out because people are looking for words that will please them and not the sound doctrine, it's not that Timothy is hearkening back to an old time. Wouldn't it be fun if we said, can't we have church like it was in the 50s and 60s when the pews were full and everybody obeyed and life was beautiful? And then we had those awful end of the 60s and the raucous 70s where things went to hell in a handbasket. It's not about rolling backwards as much as it is about looking forward. Jesus says in the gospel, when the Son of Man comes again, and we believe that there will be a second coming, there's going to be something. We may not know how to describe it, and those are the words we use, that Jesus is going to come back. Does that mean Jesus is going to come back bodily? How will we know? We don't yet. But we will when it happens, I bet. But it's about what is going to happen. What can we do now for the wellness and preparation of that time? And God, speaking through Jeremiah to the people who are where? Remember last week? Anybody? Babylon, right. They've been taken away. Actually, Jeremiah is in Jerusalem with those who were left behind. But they're looking forward to something new, something different. And it even has that imagery of planting seeds. And interesting that he says seeds of animals and seeds of humans. Well, wait a minute, weren't there already animals and humans there? I think what that metaphor is talking about is that people who are looking anew and writing their relationship with God in a new way. The Babylonian exile was kind of a punishment from God. But at the end, God says, I will forgive their iniquity and remember their sin no more. And I think that's one of the things we have to look forward to. We have to go with hope. We have to go with deep faith that Jesus asks if we're going to find. And obviously that widow who kept knocking on the door had deep faith. Our deep faith allows us to forgive our own iniquities, our own sins, and the sins of others, to dream and hope for that beautiful place, that beautiful time when everyone is well. No one is clamoring with another. No one is thinking they have the right way, the only way, that they have to have more, that others have to be kept out. It's a time for everyone to be well. And it is the faith that widow exemplifies in the parable. Now, a parable isn't an actual thing that happened, right? A parable is a way to tell a story with a moral or ethical theme in it, a moral or ethical point. And the point here is we have to persevere. And we hear it in our collect also. And we've heard it in other readings. Anybody remember the other reading that's popping in my head with the word perseverance in it? It wasn't too many weeks ago. Let us run with perseverance the race that is set before us. The race that's set before us, the perseverance we need to have, like that widow. And I don't like the judge, by the way, in this story. I think he gets off too easy for being a really bad person. All right, I'll give in because she's just going to annoy me. That's not the way we're supposed to be. We give in because we forgive, we reconcile, we recognize, we turn back, as the leper did last week, to recognize how we need to walk with God. How we need to walk with God into the future for the wellness of ourselves. And have you ever held a grudge against somebody? Not forgiving? It hurts, doesn't it? I did. It hurts. But when we let go, oh my gosh, the wellness that comes from forgiveness, from reconciliation. When we hold on to things that we've done wrong, our own selves. When we let go of those painful, I could have done better moments. And recognize we can go forward, that God is there to walk with us. We can be well. And when we are well, we can be kind and generous and abundant to our community and bring about wellness. So that's what I'm getting out of these readings today. You may get something else, and that's great too, because there's a lot there. But I hear God calling us to flow with wellness, flow with forgiveness, flow with faith. At the 10 o'clock service, we're going to have a baptism, hence the Paschal candle is out, if you noticed. And we're in white up here at the altar, because the ladies don't want to switch colors between shows. And I don't blame them. And baptism is a statement of our faith, of our trust that when we call, when we invite, God is with us. And it's an outward and visible sign, as we use the term for sacrament in this church. It's an outward and visible sign of our profound faith, our perseverance, that we're going to do this because we believe in the future. We believe in what God has promised, and that we can be part of that. So, how will you pledge to flow your wellness, to flow that you are well, to flow that our community can be well? Yesterday, for those who were here, was a huge example of how we flow wellness, how we flow community. How many? 3,000?
No, 10,000.
10,000.
124. Sorry.
10,124 meals were packed for Rise Against Hunger yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
That's only 10,000.
Imagine if we'd gone for 4 hours, what we might have done. But we flowed wellness. We took our wellness and shared it abundantly with others. That's the perseverance we need to keep showing. That's the faith and belief in this creation that God has given us to tend to, and how we care for one another. So, what's the next way? What's the next way? What are you going to do this afternoon? What are you going to do tomorrow?
Rummage.
The rummage sale, yes.
After church. Yeah.
But what about at the grocery store? What about at Dunkin' Donuts? What about in traffic? How are we going to flow wellness? What about in our prayers? Because that's the other place that Jesus started that parable with, to tell his story. By the way, guys, you need to pray with perseverance. It is our actions and it is our prayer, which is an action, isn't it? So, let's ponder this together. Pray about the rummage sale. Give thanks for the Rise Against Hunger yesterday. Pray about the holiday fair that's coming. Pray about all the things that we do and how we can flow wellness through all of this more and more.